Minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee.
I'm blaming one person, and I don't know that anything a team can do in which I blame that person more than for a lot of penalties. That's on the head coach. Head coach sets a standard in terms of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, and if that standard isn't good, they get a lot of penalties. I've never known, and again, someone can go to the Institute and check it out, I've never known of a well-coached team that had a ton of penalties. Now, I look forward to the response from Brian Bulaga and after saying good evening.
Well, good evening. But I think you left something out. I said pre-snap penalties. I said pre-snap penalties.
Yep, same thing. Same thing.
No.
Hold on. Now, who is your coach? Okay, let's see. I think you had coaches where you damn well not going to have pre-snap penalties. It ain't going to happen.
Oh, no, I mean, you certainly don't want to have them. No, you don't want to have them. No.
Did you ever have that problem under McCarthy?
I don't. I mean, you have them throughout. You have them.
Right.
I mean, you always have penalties, right? I mean, like, you have penalties. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
I don't ever remember it being like a problem. I'm sure there were seasons that were higher than others, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I guess I don't remember a season where it was like maybe 17 and 18 because we were bad. Right, like, I guess if you looked at 2017 and 18, maybe those seasons you would probably see that we were highly penalized because we were bad. If you would look at those, but I guess if I look back, there's not a season that sticks out that, like, man, we were always penalized. We were always digging ourselves out of a hole. It always felt like we were behind the chains and we had to fight out of it. And like someone was always jumping off sides and we were backing up and going like, so no, I mean, I guess it never felt that way. If that's.
No, and
that's what you mean.
I'm willing to change because you saying that, and I could be wrong. I just think penalties are a reflection of the discipline of a head coach.
Yeah, so so I understand what you're saying, and here's the thing, right? Like, whether it was McCarthy and like, listen, McCarthy, I ran a tight ship, and like then again, so like you look at 2019, right? So look at 2019, my first year, and then look at LaFleur's second year, and you look at those years penalized, right? Like and those, like, I'm sure penalties were down those years too. And like I played for him, like I didn't have many penalties that year as a player. Like you just look at certain things and it's like, so what makes him less disciplined then in 2019 as a coach to now all of a sudden, right? Like that's where I'm trying to get it, because I've played for both coaches. Right. So like that's why I kind of push back on that. It's because like if we say that about him now, well, I did that in 2019, and like offensively, I don't remember a ton of penalties. Defensively, I don't remember a ton of penalties. I remember when they were obviously ticking along really well with Aaron those few years after I left. I mean, they were really good, not a ton of penalties. So like, it's not like you can say that the head coach isn't like, not cracking down on penalties. Like he's not like,
well, I'm willing to admit I'm wrong. And inconsistencies on a team I would lean toward then maybe more on the players. Penalties per game, Jacksonville, Minnesota, New Orleans, Tennessee, Giants, and Green Bay.
This year right
Jacksonville
now?
stinks. New Orleans stinks. Tennessee stinks. Now, let's go back to the last 3 years. You know who's number one in the NFL? Last 3 years, penalties per game? Your
Who's
Green Bay Packers. Minnesota's second. Giants, Jacksonville, Dallas, New England.
So that's the last 3 years, huh? That's this year, then counting up 2 years before.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's okay. So that's a glaring statistic. Like that's a glaring statistic. And I don't have a like clear and cut answer for that. Like I don't have a
Yeah, last year they list them as 23rd with 6.6. So 23, they must have been horrible too to be. Maybe I did the last 3 wrong. Hold on here. 23, they were 5.9. So I don't know. I'm not sure I have that right. But anyway.
well, I mean, I certainly, I think it's, I mean, clearly there's it could be, I mean, okay, so I look at it as a couple things, right? Like I always look at penalties in a couple ways, right? Like I look at combative penalties, and those
Right.
are like your holdings, your pass interferences, things like that, right? Like so those are technique issues or they're judgmental issues by referees, right? Like those things are, I mean, sometimes they're blatant and they're holding, and those are technique issues, and those are things that obviously the player needs to clean up. Not good enough, or sometimes they're judgmental calls, and you win some and you lose some, and then you get into the discipline ones, the late hits, the personal fouls, the tauntings, and those are the ones to me that yes, those are discipline ones. Those are the ones that the coaches need to be able to nip in the butt. Those are the ones that if those continue to happen, then there's a issue that the coach is not addressing those properly when they start to pop up often. And that's not something that I think is happening here. I think a lot of these are combative, which is what we always looked at when we'd get into meetings with McCarthy is combative penalties, which is the holdings and things like that. And then we always looked at pre-snap penalties as like lack of focus on players. When we get those, that is a player driven.
All right. Well,
lack
I'm
of
surprised
focus.
no one has done this because I put it on Google and they now have AI for everything. While no widely recognized great coaches are primarily known for accumulating penalties, historical records and discussions offer some insight into coaches who at times led teams with high penalty numbers, such as Bill Belichick. Well,
Yeah.
that ends my discussion.
I'm just
out.
saying.
I'm wrong.
I'm just saying there's certain things that like I understand what you're saying. I look at it in a way of if it starts to go in a direction of a lot of stupid penalties, like you're talking the personal fouls and the tauntings and like those, like that stuff's like garbage. Like you can't that's unexcusable. You can't have it. That's letting everybody down. And if you allow that to happen and you don't address that after the game and with the player directly, and that continues to happen, then yeah, that's an issue with the head coach. But that's not something that I think LaFleur allows. I know that's not something he allowed when I was there. I doubt he allows it now. And if it does happen during a game, I would imagine he addresses it fairly quickly after. So
Now there are a lot of versions. The one says that pre-snaps are on the head coach. Even though the Colts were missing 4 offensive linemen and 10 of 12 starters, they still committed fewer mistakes and showed better discipline than the Cardinals. That was from a few years ago. I will reserve judgment to be right, but I will no longer use that as a comment because it's clearly more complicated than that.
yeah, I mean, listen, I think people can have a take on it, and that's fine. Like I understand both sides of it, and I can see both views on it, and and I also look at it like, I heard you say like the Colts had X amount of people out against the Cardinals and
Well, I
things
don't know what
like
game.
that.
This could have been a game from a few years ago.
Yeah.
I,
And
I
like,
mean,
I always look at it like, who are the guys playing? Right. Like, I mean, you could have a decent amount of vets playing that have
right.
played some football, and they don't like, you're talking pre-snap penalties, right? They're just talking false starts that just didn't false start. Like, right. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
it
it's
would
not
seem to me the quarterback could also be responsible.
100% go on one every time. Like, make this thing very simple. Go on one. Like, no pre-snap penalties. Like, let's make this simple. Like, don't confuse the guys at the line of scrimmage. Make an ID and let's go. Like, there's certain things that you could make it basic for the guys up front. Like, for us, we liked it very complicated. We liked Aaron to go through as many cadences as he could to give the offensive line as big as an advantage as he could, because it helped us do our job. It kept the D lineman off balance. It gave him a lot of time to read defenses. It was good for everybody. Like, it helped everyone. Yeah, did guys jump off sides from time to time? Sure. But guess what? We got a lot of free plays off of that. We got a lot of encroachment penalties and free plays off that. The good outweighed the bad. So, like, it's one of those things that, when as we played, we saw the positive from it. Like, as we look at what's happening right now, I don't think we've seen as much from this group getting that, right? Like, we haven't seen as much like positive of that, right? Like, guys jumping off sides and Jordan getting the free play and taking shots. Like, we haven't seen that. And maybe, I mean, again, I haven't been in the huddle or heard Jordan's silent or snap count or cadence or how he sells it. I don't know how it sounds, so I can't be a judge of it. But it's hard to beat the way Aaron did his. But, like, there's certain things that, help guys out at the line of scrimmage and listen when.
All right, now we get to my new question.
All right.
Now I got to change. I have no interest in using that anymore. Bill Belichick, and again, it may have been their philosophy defensively was to be so aggressive and take the penalties. It's worth the penalties, but I don't. I'll wait until I get a further breakdown. What is, as someone who played, what is an indication of a poorly coached team, a poorly head coached team? Just because I'm not even sure sometimes losing is, because I've always viewed the GM as way more important than the head coach. You got to have the players.
Yeah.
I can find more guys to coach a Super Bowl team than I can to build one. But I might have to change that too. But that's my own. What? Now, you don't have to mention any names because it might not even be a team you're on, but other people you knew that were on a team. And how can a fan observer notice that a possible sign of a poorly coached team?
Yeah, I mean, I think, just from my, I guess not. I mean, I feel like I haven't really been. In Green Bay,
right? But you played against teams. I like when you've said this before. When players quit.
Yes, well, that's certainly one. That's certainly one.
Right?
When you get teams to quit and you feel them quit,
and they quit sooner. Or I guess.
Yeah.
You said we know we know it, and
yeah, I think one too, and this is something that, and this kind of goes back to. I don't know. I don't think it's discipline. I don't think it's that, but it's certainly, it maybe goes into that a little bit. What happens during the week with these teams when you notice a lot of breakdowns on the field? Blown coverages from an offensive standpoint, right? Like, when you're going against the defense, and for some reason receivers are wide open all the time. When we would play teams, right, and you would be pass blocking and Jordy would be wide open. The next play, Cobb would be open, and then Devontae would be open, and you're just ripping off 15-yard gains at a time. You're going, okay, like what were they taught throughout the week? Like what was the game plan? What were they trying to do?
It shouldn't be that easy, even when your offense is that good.
Yes, like what were they trying to accomplish here? And then you hand the ball off and you're ripping them for like 6 yards a gain. So like you're going, okay, so if they were trying to take away this and they didn't take away that, and then we're doing this and we can, so like that's kind of like you're going like, what were they coached that week? What was the process here, right? And then that was normally an indication like I don't know what was going on here.
And
Right?
a well-coached team made things complicated for you, or what?
Yeah, I mean, well coached. I mean, you knew, like a good example is like every time. Well, I mean, you mentioned his name. I mean, with the penalties, but like every time we played Belichick in New England when we played those Patriots, like you'd get them on the first drive. Like, I think every time we played the Patriots, we might have scored on the first drive. And then it felt like beating our head against the wall then for like the next three or four to figure him out, because then he adjusted and then we figured him out. And then it was like the same thing over and because like it was a constant like
Wow.
adjustment game. And like that's how it felt going against teams like that were very prepared. They would make adjustments.
See, it's hard, I
constantly.
think. Maybe you should have a site where you watch. I think it's hard for a fan to notice that adjustment. You just notice how well they're doing. We're doing well. We're not doing well against Dallas. They can't stop the team, or you don't.
So like a perfect example. I mean, you look at kind of what our defense did to start against Dallas. Like, look how well we started out against Dallas, right? Like,
yes,
the defense looked great. Right, like, and you could say it was Wyatt that went down that hurt the run.
I'll accept anything.
Yeah, whatever you want to say. They made adjustments on Dallas's side of the football, right? Like, and they made really good adjustments. And Halfley, I think he's a brilliant coach. He stuck to his guns and he did what he normally does, and he relied on the players. And you could say, I mean, to me, he stuck with the calls that he's been doing, right? Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's not like he did something out of this world different that people are like, what is he doing this week? He's been, listen, it's the same stuff that's been working. He didn't do something crazy different that it's like he tried something out in Dallas. Let's see if it works. No, it's none of that. He stuck to his principles.
And you would like to see them play Dallas again. I bet you would.
I would love to see it again. I think Halfley would. Well, first of all, I think he would do something different with Micah, and how they did their protection against Green Bay's D line. Because I think he would do something way different, and they would be way more effective.
We're getting on YouTube. Homer, shut up. Bring Jason on. So, all right. Window Nation, they have a 90% customer satisfaction. Yeah, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to the people that have worked with Window Nation. And they can install in 1 day, depending on the size of the job. You can't believe how quickly they can get it done. October is here. If you've got old windows, it means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate all that with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. Window Nation, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started. 90% customer satisfaction. You won't believe how quickly they can get it done. You're not doing it right if you don't go with Window Nation. Yes, the cot is ready. Jason Wilde and Brian Bulaga next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound 43 heading into the Marquette interchange. We've got a crash off on the right shoulder. We've got the big delays, too, coming in from Hampton all the way down through the Marquette down to about the KK River crossing. The northbound side slowing down from the base of the high-rise bridge all the way up past North Avenue to about Locust. We've got westbound 94 slowing down just before 27th Street to Holly Road. Back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way into Waukesha County. From Sunny Slope Road on west, you've got pockets of heavy traffic all the way towards Brookfield Road. The eastbound side slow through the zoo and then back on the brakes 84th Street to 35th. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 63. Tomorrow, sunny, very warm, high of 84 at the lake, 88 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This year, it just feels different.
Swing and a miss.
He struck him out. Keep it to WTMJ as the Brewers fight their way to a pennant throughout the run of the playoffs. Brewers playoff coverage is presented by the Neurospine Center of Wisconsin and by Annex Wealth Management, Boucher Automotive, and Delta Dental. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Make the best seat in the house yours. Carbless delivers the handcrafted cocktail experience right to your living room. Bold flavor, no carbs, no sugar, just 100 calories, and all the taste with none of the extra baggage. From kickoff to the final play, Carbless is your game day go-to. Hosting friends, watching with family, or celebrating every big drive, Carbless keeps the good times pouring. So when the game's on the line, make the winning call. Skip the mixing, grab the bliss, and make every seat the best seat in the house. Find Carbless near you at drinkcarbless.com.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with Accutrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use Accutrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. Accutrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
Ready to watch the Packers like a VIP? Cousins Subs put you in the center of it all. On the 50-yard line in plush recliner seats, complete with personal TVs and your favorites delivered from Cousins Subs. 2 pairs of fans are selected before each regular season home game to enjoy this one-of-a-kind experience. Enter daily to win the best seats in the house. Only from Cousins Subs. Cousins Subs. We believe in better. See rules and eligibility for details.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Baby got a dress on. Partner calling for Brian Bulaga.
That's right. I'm here for my friends at Surfside. Football season is back, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brew tea, Surfside's only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Why it's easy to enjoy? Because there's so many great flavors. Like my favorite, the half tea, half lemonade, peach tea, and raspberry lemonade. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
It's time for Jason Wilde on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
And I sit because the doctor of football is also so nice. Take it away, Brian.
Jason, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, Doc. I need you to diagnose something for me.
Okay. What do we got?
It's not a rash or anything. Not that kind of doc. You're the football doc.
Well, that's good.
So I appreciate our friendship. I don't want you to know me quite that intimately. So I just finished writing about the Packers' run game, and how I love the fact LaFleur. I don't think he was being smart aleck, but Bill Huber asked him, "Hey, what'd you like about your run game in the second half?" And his answer was that we gained some yards finally, but they were terrible up until then. So I was just doing the math, and Josh Jacobs carried 14 times for 70 yards. That's a 5-yard average. Emmanuel Wilson was even better. He had 6 carries for 36 yards. He was, he was cooking. And so they had over 100 yards in the second half. And in the first half, it was more of the same for Josh Jacobs, who had 16 carries for 30 yards in Cleveland and then had 8 carries for 16 yards in the first half against the Cowboys. What did you see when you broke down the tape? Did you see the offensive line doing a better job? Did you see them taking advantage of how much slanting the Cowboys like to do? Like, what was the difference? Because they have got to get that run game going, and they need that second half to be an indicator of what's coming next.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you and I talked about it a little bit on the show, your program the other day. I mean, I think they did do in the second half, and which I think is obviously a LaFleur staple, and it's been a staple of this offense and kind of what his principles are. They did a lot more zone-based schemed in the second half, like true zone scheme, whether that's inside or outside zone. And that's what they did. And a lot of it was gun runs, right? It's still obviously a lot of gun run because that's the type of game they were in, right? They're not going to be under center. They're in a shootout type of game where they're throwing the ball up and down. Like it was the type of game they were in, but a lot of gun zone runs. And they were able to get a lot of yards out of it. And it was very effective. It was very clean. Guys were able to get to the second level and take advantage of what I think is, and, listen, I'm not saying Dallas's defensive line by any stretch of the imagination is like the Eagles' D-line or anything like that, right? Like, I'm not claiming that. But, like, Dallas's D-line is an athletic defensive line. Like, that's how they play, right? They are a defensive line that likes to move. They slant. They're a one-gap kind of movement team. That's what they like to do. And if you're able to catch them in movement, you can get big chunks of yardage, and that's what they were able to do in the second half, running these zone principles, and they were able to, run the ball effectively. And I think if they're able to continue to kind of, stick with those principles, the gun runs and things that, that LaFleur is so well versed at, and the scheme is so well versed at, in particular, what this scheme was built upon. I think they're going to be very successful. I mean, I really do. I think I think you can have the things that they've shown early, right? And I've been talking about it. They've shown a lot of power type scheme where they're pulling guards and they're pulling tackles. And while there's a time and a place for that, right, there's a lot of things that need to go right for those type of schemes to work, right? Like, there's a lot of things that need to work for those things to be effective. And they just haven't up to this point in the season, right? I mean, we could see that based on numbers, right? And I'm just being honest. But they kind of went away from that a little bit in the second half and went to what we're used to seeing, and it was very effective. And they ran the ball really well, and the line looked comfortable, and they did a good job. So I'm hoping we see a little bit more of that. But again, I'm certainly not going to, sit here and say they can't do this or do that. We know Jacobs is really good at running the duo type runs, downhill, duo, double teams all around, and he kind of hops around and picks a gap. We know he's good at that, but they've shown a variety of schemes this year. They've shown different things, which has been fun to see on tape, but not all of it has gone as planned, I think. So, but it was good to see the second half go the way it did from a yards per carry standpoint. Like, I was a little more positive than how Matt might have put it in his presser. We'll put it that way. I was a little more positive about it when I watched it than what he said.
Yeah, it was interesting that Jacobs, he was very cautious though too, kind of like you just were, about the fact that they took advantage of some of the stuff the Cowboys did. Like, he did not in any way proclaim that the running game is back. And that leads into, the question of what's their offensive line going to look like. Like, the reason that they signed Aaron Banks and paid him the kind of money that you could only dream of on some of your contracts was that he was going to clear the way in the run game so effectively. And that, there's no real indication, even when he was healthy, that he was that dominant. There's still, even with what they did in the second half, they're still 26th in the league in yards per attempt. 26th. Yeah. That with Josh Jacobs. So, I'll be curious to see what it looks like, but, they need Aaron Banks, A, healthy, and B, playing well. And if he can do that, then maybe the run game really will take off.
I mean, I guess, Jason, has he said, and obviously I don't want to get into, I don't want anyone to ask him about schematics or anything like that, but because he's not going to get into that. Like, I know he won't get into that because that's how he is. That's how most coaches are. But has he said any indication about different things that they are doing, like different types of schemes in the run game that they are trying to get at based on personnel? Obviously they signed Banks and the type of guys that they're bringing in does, allows for certain types of run schemes and not the true zone that when he first got there, when it was myself and Bakhtiari and Billy Turner and Corey and Elton as the guys that were running it, all guys that were 320 pounds and less. And now that's not the way it looks anymore. You know what I mean? Like, has he said anything about that, or is it just kind of we're doing what we're doing?
Yeah, so he hasn't talked much about that, but it kind of goes back to one of the things that you talked about with Tausch and me yesterday, and that is, to some degree, it's great that Josh Jacobs really prefers duo, right? And they absolutely should do that because he feels comfortable with it. There's no question about that. The issue that I have is you also have to do the stuff that you feel good about. And at this point, I don't know what they feel good about, but they clearly have had a commitment in the past, especially, and look, Aaron Jones is a totally different running back. I fundamentally understand that. But the slasher type stuff that he did was great for that style of run game, right? The zone, outside zone stuff. And the thing about Josh Jacobs is that I think he's good enough that he can do that too. He's a different type of back, but that doesn't mean he can't do that.
Oh yeah. I think Jacobs can do any style. Jacobs is good enough to do any style. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I think Jacobs is good enough to do anything you ask him to do. And then to be honest with you, Emmanuel Wilson went in the game and he was very impressive too. He looked very comfortable too. So you have two backs that can do plenty. And I think you got to find what these offensive linemen are blocking well right now. That's really, because you got so many guys in and out of this lineup currently. You got to find what this group's doing well, and you got to stick with it because
right.
If you're going throughout different schemes and you're going to power and pull and G schemes and duo schemes, the zone schemes, and you're going in and out of all these things, it's going to be tough to hammer down what they're good at, right? I understand you got to be able to adapt on the fly, and we should be able to go to power whenever we want in the game. And I get that. I understand. We would do that all the time. We would never practice power in the week, and then all of a sudden on 3rd and 1, power would come in the huddle, and we'd look around what is that? Why would we just call that? It's not even a game plan. But got to be able to do it. Then we didn't even practice it. But with so many guys that are backups in right now and they're moving around, I'd just hammer something out and stick with it and let these guys get comfortable and roll. But again, that's why I'm in the cheap seats. But anyway.
Wait a minute. Did you ever suggest anything in your time, and in what situation and what play?
Did I ever suggest anything in my time?
Yeah, playing.
It's normally a consensus thing in the room, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you sit in the O-line room and you go through the short yardage game plan and the run game plan, and you guys kind of go through the looks.
And what offensive lineman had made the most suggestions?
Oh, Sitton and TJ. I mean, those are the guys that. Those are the guys. If there was a big issue, they'd stand on the soapbox and they would.
So there was no point for you to do it because that approach was pretty much taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a big problem, a huge problem, they would do it. But like, you go through a game plan, they would take care of it. But I mean, it's just you try to handle it diplomatically. At least you try.
You do. Thanks, Jason. I know you got to go
guys,
somewhere.
Take care.
Jason's always got to go somewhere.
Yeah, he's always got to do something.
Yeah, I know.
He's
determined to become the greatest father in the world.
I wanted to ask him, and we could talk about this too. And I did want to ask him, like, if LaFleur, and maybe you listened to his presser more on Monday because I didn't hear much.
I don't know.
Because Jason said I know when I was on his program yesterday that he was very open about a lot of things that happened during the game. He was
I'll let you listen to it. At the end of the game, he all but said it was on Jordan Love, and he was shocked. And I think because while they had a decision on what the play was, I don't think he felt it necessary to tell him. And you maybe want to throw the pass before the clock hits 0. But that's my analysis of what he said. So you can listen. And after he talked a few seconds, he did throw in, well, then everybody should. But prior to that, it was pretty clear to me that something happened that he didn't think he had to address.
Well, I mean on Monday.
Oh.
Like, once the dust settles on Monday, it's always the emotions run high. And then Monday,
I think that's when he said it. Pebble, when did he make the comments? I'm almost sure it was Monday about the what happened at the last play of the game. It was a car wreck.
Being a slow motion car crash.
That was
Monday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what he said?
I think you should listen to it because I'm curious of where you would put it.
Come back and play it after break.
Yes, we'll do that. Next.
Yeah. The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound on 43, backing up from before Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette. There is an accident in the Marquette interchange off on the right shoulder on southbound 43. But beyond that, we've got delays all the way to the KK River. Northbound is backing up over the high-rise bridge to about North Avenue. Southbound 41, very heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. And the northbound side is backed up from just before Mayfair Road up to Capitol. And we do still have the closure on US 45 in just south of Union Grove. Basically between Highway 11 and Highway KR, which is the Racine-Kenosha County line. 45 is closed there because of a crash. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 63. Tomorrow, sunny, very warm, a high of 84 at the lake, 88 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Bye week for the Green Bay Packers, and head coach Matt LaFleur keeps it pretty simple on what he's focused for his team with 13 games remaining in the NFL regular season.
You got to get these guys their bodies back, and then we all also understand that it's going to be a long haul after the bye, so you better get your mind right to go on that journey and to try to get a little bit better every day.
Audio courtesy of Packers.com. The Packers will take this week off before returning to action at Lambeau Field, where they're 2-0 this year, in Week 6 against the Cincinnati Bengals next Sunday.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
Sundays are for football and carbless. Born in Wisconsin, carbless handcrafted premium cocktails are packed with flavor, not sugar. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and gluten-free. Whether you're tailgating in Green Bay or calling the plays from your couch, Carbless is the cocktail that's always game day ready. Crisp, clean, and crafted to win. This season, drink like a champion. Drink Carbless, a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
Catholic Memorial Football.
Barreling towards the end zone, and he's in! Isaac Miller!
The Crusaders welcome in New Berlin Eisenhower this Friday for homecoming.
All the way into the end zone, Camden Shumpert.
Crusaders football is brought to you by R&R Insurance, D&M Accounting and Consulting Services, Curative Care, Home Sealed Exteriors, and Tony Wendorf and Associates. Tune in Friday at 7 on 94.5 ESPN and the live video stream at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Homer for, I don't say Homer, that's me. Window Nation. This is what I lead with. 90% customer satisfaction. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what people think that have done work with them. And they can install in one day depending on the size of the job. I want it done now. Window Nation can do that. October is here, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. That's why doing it now is so important. Eliminate annoying drafts once for all. Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. Window Nation, proud partner of the Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started, and you tell them, Homer said you can do it now, today. And if not, call me. You're not doing it right if you don't go with Window Nation. The Brian Bulaga Homer Hour. By the way, the Cubs are defeating the Padres 2-0. It's in the bottom of the 5th inning in Chicago. The winner of that game will play against the Brewers. Yankees and the Red Sox tonight. If the Yankees win, the Brewers will play Saturday at 1:08. If the Red Sox win, the game will not be Saturday until 8 o'clock. So that just determines the time of the game. Brewers will play either the Padres or the Cubs. The Cubs leading 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Talking with Brian Bulaga about the Green Bay Packers. This is the worst week for a bye. Because we're going to have to talk about the damn Dallas game. We're just getting started. We got a whole week. And they're playing Cincinnati. And you want to know what bad is? If they lose to Cincinnati, that will be 10 times worse than the Cowboys. It'll be 10 times worse than the Browns. Cincinnati's horrible without a quarterback, and you're playing at home. Right? A loss to Cincinnati would be worse and not even close with anything they've experienced so far this season. But I will defer to you.
Well, let's put it this way. Not only Cincinnati doesn't have a defense. We know that for a fact, right? They don't have a quarterback. They have a stud wide receiver, but no one to get him the ball. They got 2 stud receivers.
He's probably getting mad.
Yeah, they got 2 stud receivers that they can't get the ball to. And they don't have an offensive line that can block anybody. So yes, it would not be good. It would not be good. We'll just put it that way.
You can imagine you as a coach. You're playing the last place team. To lose, that would not be good. That would not be good. We also have the Pebble has it. This is what it was regarding the play at the end of the overtime, right?
Correct. Yes.
And people wondering what the hell was going on. Well, this is what LaFleur said on Monday.
Jordan comes off after the incompletion that leaves.
We know whose voice that is.
And you're not ranting and raving and yelling at him, but you can see on the TV you talk to him. So what's the message there?
I don't even know, because it was like watching a slow motion car crash in front of your face, where I'm just looking at the clock and I'm like, oh my God, there's going to be no time left. I mean, it's a very humbling experience to go through that, and it's unacceptable, quite honestly. So, and there's nothing we can do about it now other than we better learn from it, everybody. I'm sure it'll be a teach tape for around the league, to be honest with you.
And can you help us, sir? What kind of a teach tape would that be? A tape that no one actually thought necessary, right? I mean, they don't have a teach tape where you have to wear a helmet.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it'll be. I mean, what he's referring to is it'll be teach tape when teams do their 2-minute installs, and like what to do and what not to do. Like he's like
this will be the epic what not to do.
Yeah, like, and every team has them. Like, and Green Bay has clips of other teams, like what you shouldn't do. Like we had them every year, and like what are good clips, and it's not just of your team; it's of other teams from around the league, and that will be one of them, right? Like what you shouldn't do, right? Like, and he's right. Like he couldn't be any more accurate of kind of like probably what it looked like from his point of view from the sideline. There's nothing he can do. Can't call a timeout. Can't stop it. He can't run on the field.
Is it accurate that he was addressing Jordan Love, though he didn't say it?
He said something to him, but he's not going to say what he said.
No, but I mean, this analysis, when I listened to what LaFleur said, it all but told me, this is on the quarterback, and I couldn't believe I was seeing it. And then he said, well, everybody has to learn from this. But
Yeah, I mean, I think he's certainly saying that like the quarterback has to conduct this operation cleaner out there. Like at this point in time, with this situation, right? There's no timeouts.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do from the sideline at this point. I can't do anything, right? Like it's on the coach on the field has to conduct the operation out here, right? Like he's got to get this thing going. The play's in his headset. He knows what needs to be done. He's got to get those 10 other guys to the line of scrimmage and get this thing rolling within. I mean, I think, they essentially everything comes in around 27, 26 seconds. They should have been on the ball at, 17, 16, and he should have had time to look at that.
But
defense.
If he has no time, he just has to release it early, and then his defense is very easy. Hey, I don't have any choice. Right?
Yes.
I mean, no one would have argued, or they might have said some comment.
I got rid of it. I got rid of it.
Everybody would have understood it.
Yes, yeah. I got rid of it. I knew I had to save time for the kick.
And then you address why was it where you had to get rid of it. Something broke down, and then you deal with that. But the getting rid of it, I just don't think that LaFleur thought that would be part of the
no. Well, he was probably looking at the clock tick down and then looking at the guys on the field kind of mosey around, and he's probably going, what are we doing? Like, what's happening here?
It went ugly from the beginning. Yes. All right.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking when I was watching it, but
because you never you just assume there's going to be enough time on the clock. You're not going to cut it that close ever.
Yeah, when I see 26 seconds and they're like the ref has spotted the ball. Yeah, like there's plenty of time to call a good play, get everyone set, and get a good play off.
And if not, get something off.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter with the Doctor of Football, Brian Bulaga. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
Who benefits the most from Micah Parsons being on the field? Secondary. Keyshawn Nick.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
If you're a quarterback, you've got to get the football out of your hands before you really want to do it. I mean, everybody's getting their wealth with this, but to me, I think it's really the guys in the secondary.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
Wisconsin sports fans, Brian Bulaga here for my friends at Surfside. Football season is back, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brewed tea, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. please drink responsibly.
The fall trade-up event is happening now at Cunis. With winter on the horizon, trade up now to a new, safe, and reliable vehicle. We'll do whatever it takes to make a deal at nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis locations in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and the new Cunis Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. We have huge incentives and discounts on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Thinking pre-owned? We have over 2,500 in stock with payments for every budget. Plus, check out our service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Brian Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear lifetime powertrain warranty included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Don't miss the fall trade-up event. Start your search online at CunisMilwaukee.com.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
Hi, I'm Jim Frucci, Managing Partner and PGA Professional at Morningstar Golfers Club, and I'd like to personally invite you to play your next round of golf at Morningstar. Lush green fairways, velvet smooth greens, magnificent vistas from high above our championship golf course. Morningstar was created with the serious golfer in mind, and it continues to be the public course by which all other area public courses are measured. Book your tee time today and reserve a spot on our membership wait list. Come out and see what all of Southeast Wisconsin's been talking about. Hey, you played the rest. Now play the best.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Whoa! What are these? Screamin' Sicilian loaded breadsticks. Available in 2 great flavors. Cheesy garlic or pepperoni. Both delicious. Screamin' Sicilian doesn't play around. They're fully loaded breadsticks that come in their own bakeable tray.
Dang! Woo! These are next level. Are they the main course?
Nah, just the appetizer. Find Screamin' Sicilian loaded breadsticks in your local grocer's freezer section. Screamin' Sicilian loaded breadsticks. Bring the party. Bring the flavor.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The Brian Bulaga Homer Hour. Doctor, I want to know what you have told people when they've asked you, what the hell is going on with the Green Bay Packers? I got to believe you have been asked that question, not just the losing, but just the flow of the last 2 games after they looked so good the first 2. You only have 30 seconds to talk to someone. I'll do it. Hey, Bulaga, what the hell's going on with the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, I mean, I think just right now they're in a little lull offensively when it comes to what they have going on in their run game. I think the run game's a little bit inconsistent, which is causing their play action pass game to struggle a little bit the last couple weeks. I mean, obviously they put up 40 against Dallas, which was a nice performance, but as the run game continues to struggle, I think the offense will sputter. But once the run game gets going, I think we're going to see things a lot better. I think the defense has been great the first 3 weeks. Obviously what we saw against Dallas was uncharacteristic, but as long as they clean that up, we'll see steady performances from that defense. I'm not too worried about that, but the offense needs to get the run game going. Once that gets solved, it's going to be all right. Gary Ellerson said something, and he even said it when he was a high school coach. He said he'd tell his team every year, this team, every team goes as its offensive line goes. And I thought, wow, I don't think I've even heard that from Bulaga. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think as offensive linemen, we think that it should go that way, or we feel good about it going that way, right? I mean, we protect the quarterback.
But in your football experience, is there truth to it? Now, granted, the Packers have had some great quarterbacks, but I guess that would say that even if those great quarterbacks don't have a good offensive line, I think they're addressing that, aren't they, a little bit with the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, again, I was always very fortunate to have the quarterback that I got to block for in Green Bay. He made a lot of things work, but we always felt, that if we didn't do our part in that some of the magic that he made happen wouldn't have taken place. So, giving him the extra time that he needed to make those special things work, some of those special throws that he made that only he could make. You don't give him those extra couple seconds, and he's not able to move around the pocket or break the pocket, make those throws, or create those lanes for Aaron Jones or Eddie Lacy, whoever it may be. You give yourself a little bit of that credit, and like I say, as an offensive lineman, the little bit of credit that you give yourself, right? Because you just try to make things happen for the other guys so that the athletes can go do what they need to do. It's one of those things that you look around the league now, right? And I look around the league now, and the teams that have good offensive lines are the teams that are good teams.
Because your quarterback doesn't have to be that good if you have a good offensive line, right?
I mean, I feel like now in the
good.
NFL, yeah, they got to be good, but you can get away with a good remember the tiers of the quarterbacks here, top tier,
yeah,
just below top tier, then good. You can have a good to just above good quarterback and have a great offensive line, and your team's going to be just fine. Your team's going to be fine. You're going to be able to run the ball. He'll have time to throw the ball.
What will you use as the judge, the first judge now, because the NFL changed a little bit. First judge you would use to determine how good an offensive line is?
I would say I would still say pass protection.
All right.
How they hold up in pass pro, because it's the hardest thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do is pass block. It always will be too.
All right. We will continue this discussion. A team goes as its offensive line goes, and that wasn't from Brian Bulaga. It was from Gary Ellison. All right, Red Sox and the Yankees in a half hour, and of course that's important. Yankees win. The Brewers play 1:08 Saturday afternoon. Red Sox win. The Brewers play 8:08. And who do they play? It's still looking like the Chicago Cubs, who in the bottom of the sixth still have a 2-0 lead over the San Diego Padres. Next.
Well, we've got a little bit of good news.